lightning like Steve McQueen. I'm in the fast lane when the light turns green. And I built tough, I ain't nothing but grit. Cause I made rugged blood, sweat, and spit. Yeah, like a horse I fly. Better push yourself in for a bumpy ride. I like to play hard, but I work harder. And I weather the storm cause I'm built stronger.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back. We are live. It is the Freight Coach Morning Show, the top morning show in transportation, coming to you from beautiful Phoenix, Arizona at the TIA Technovations Fall Conference here. And, you know, frankly, as always, you guys, you know what we are all about. I got my man Lucas here. He was already a guest on my podcast with Kestrel Insights, and we're going to talk about what he's doing here, presenting for his company and everything else. And but before we do any of that fun stuff, you guys, I got to give a shout out to my friends over at VHub. You guys, VHubApp.com. Doesn't matter if you're a broker, carrier, or a shipper. We all need access to trailers at some point in time. And, you know, especially right now, if you're a small fleet, you should never have to shut your operation down because your trailer is in the shop. And the best part about what they got going on, you guys, is you get paid to move these trailers. So what they're working with right now is they have Paragould, Arkansas, going up to Orting, Washington, and you get paid $15.50 to move that trailer. That's on top of the revenue that you can get by putting freight in the back of that trailer. They also have Milton, Ontario to Montreal, Quebec. And you get paid $250 Canadian for that. They have San Diego going to Millbury, Ohio. You get $600 to do that. Then they have San Diego to Selma, Texas. You get $1,000 to move that one. And then San Diego going up to Spokane, Washington. You get $600 to do that. So hit them up, you guys, vhubapp.com. Hit up my friends Xavier Campos and Stacy Steen. They'll be in the audience here. And just do me a favor, you guys. Let them know that the Freight Coach sent you. Lucas, what's up, dude?
Hey, man, I appreciate having me back. It's great to be here. It was snowing up in Montana, so coming down to sunny Phoenix is great.
Dude, that's, you know, it's funny because I keep calling it out all the time because it's our summertime in Arizona here right now because it's not 115 fucking degrees. So, but it is awesome to see snow in other parts of the country and not be in that snow. That's my favorite part about it.
Absolutely.
So, Whitney Young, what's up? Good morning. I appreciate you joining in here today. So, dude, Kestrel.
Yeah.
What are you guys here presenting right now? So like they're doing a really unique thing.
They are
at this at the Technovations conference. So what are you doing?
Yeah. So it's the first annual kind of inaugural Shark Tank Invitational that they're doing. So a bunch of us applied. They kind of did a little bit of an interview process and then picked a few of us to showcase new companies, new products in the space. And yeah, it'll be fun. I mean, obviously we're not going up there like a true Shark Tank where we're saying, hey, you know, I want $2 million for X equity, but there is going to be a panel of judges. We'll kind of do a 5-minute presentation on what we're doing. And then some judges will kind of hammer some questions at us to kind of answer other questions that the audience probably have. And yeah, it'll be fun.
So for those of you people who, for some reason, don't listen to every single episode that I put out on the podcast.
What? There's people who do that?
What is Kestrel Insights?
Yeah.
Like what is your guys' base product and what you guys are rolling out?
Great question. So we've automated geofencing for logistics tech tools. So what that basically means is to use geofences today, it's a very manual process. You have to go in, draw everyone you want, or you have to use circles, which are very inaccurate. And so we have automated that process. And to take even a step back, what is a geofence? A geofence is simply a virtual boundary anywhere on Earth. Mm-hmm. And they're used to automate tracking. Very, very common. We didn't invent geofencing. We've just changed the way people can access data quicker, more coverage, better accuracy. And that's what we're all about.
Dude, so like, I mean, because for me, it's always about, you know, I know we talked about this on the podcast is, you know, just the actual accuracy of it. Because like there's some tracking software, at least in my experience, where, you know, you think they're in a certain city, but it turns out they're like 15 miles away from that. So like how accurate is this information? Like, what is it? Where is it? Like you can set it up so as soon as that driver crosses into a shipper or receiver's facility that it gets that notification that's where the driver arrives.
That's exactly right. Yeah, we have it. So the polygons are exact. They follow the exact boundary for a facility, which is really important because there's those situations like you said where, you know, you can be in the wrong location by miles, but even just feet can really matter. And we had a colleague who lost $100,000 worth of dog food, a full truckload, because of 10 feet. And simply what happened was the truck parked outside of the gate and was able to check out and leave because they were close enough and their platform allowed them to leave. And so instead, if they had the exact geofence for that facility, they would have been notified, hey, you're close, but you're not close enough. We got to get you inside that gate.
I mean, because like security for transportation is, you know, for me personally, is like it's one of those situations that you can't take a back seat on. Like you need to be fully focused on the accuracy of that information as well, because, $100,000 worth of dog food, for example, that right there, like, you don't think about it when you're like,
Yeah.
oh, it's just one bag, but when you're talking about an entire full truckload, and then on top of that, like, that's not an anomaly. I mean, how many times a year does that happen? How many people do you speak with and they're
Yeah.
like, hey, I have a certain amount of our freight that goes missing due to the inaccuracy of our geofencing?
Certainly. No, we talked to a lot of people about it. And like you said, not only is it the $100,000 of product, there's the brand equity that goes down the drain. And it's a major safety issue. Let's say the truck driver had been in the cab and then when the robbery occurred, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So not only is the safety things, but a lot of the automation and the analytics that people are bringing in from these geofences, they're making business decisions on these. And if that data's off and the timestamps are off or the detention reports are off, that's a lot of wasted time and effort for something that we can solve so simply for them. And it's so easy to integrate. So
So this is more for like the show today.
yeah.
What are
absolutely.
you most looking forward to? Because like, I think anybody who watches this or listens to this over on the replay is, we've all heard of Shark Tank. We've all like, what's going through your head like right now about this?
No, it's a good question. And it's a little bit of nervousness, but also excitement is kind of the question part because it's an unknown. I mean,
Yeah.
as anyone in their company, you're selling all the time. You do this pitch in your head in your sleep. So the 5-minute pitch, it is what it is, and it can get kind of stale. You're always trying to invigorate things and bring things to the table. But I think the questions are great. I don't think any of the sharks are out there to get any gotcha questions on people, but it helps bring ideas to the table and things that, I'm in it every day. So maybe people who are outside of it, questions they might have that I don't think about. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, no, and I'm right there with you, man. It's because like, I think a lot, like when you're out there and you're, like just like right now, like I'm setting everything up, I'm traveling, you have it prepared in your head every single time how you think it's going to go.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's just the importance of like when you get out there in the crowd and you're actually experiencing, like it's game time. We can practice it all we want, but to me, it's like having the right mindset when you're going into it, because like the nerves are always going to be a part of it. Like I don't care how much you sell, cold call, whatever that looks like, the nerves are always going to be a part of it. But it's almost like you got to push through. But I also think like people look at it, it's like, this person's not fake. Like you can see that they are, but they're like, it's gaining that composure.
Yeah.
It's gaining all of that experience. But I mean, this is also a phenomenal, who knows, man? There might be somebody who's in the audience right now that is going to be watching this and be like, dude, I want to invest in that company because of it. That's a very real possibility. Or it's at least getting you that real feedback. And that's like what I think is the most exciting part for me is like that real investor feedback. Because the people who are on the panel are actual investors.
Exactly.
These aren't just like 4 people who know technology. These guys are actually in charge of funds, and that's exactly what they do.
Yeah.
And to have that feedback, that is invaluable. I think like how many people out there when they go to market with their product or they do anything, they're just like, I just want somebody to tell me the truth.
Yeah.
Now you unfiltered get exactly how it's going to be.
Certainly. No, you're spot on. Yeah. There's a couple guys on the panel that you said run funds, a couple guys that do both funds and have some technology background. So great panel to ask the questions that we need to know about and be ready to answer. So that'll be a lot of fun.
No, it's going to be exciting for you, man. I think like what's your big, what are you looking to get out of this the most? Is it the experience of it all? Is it just getting Kestrel's brand out there? Because, like, again, geofencing, like it's not the sexiest thing in the world. Like if you think about it, especially with all the shit in transportation right now, but what's your big takeaway? Like, what are you looking to get the most out of this?
Well, obviously the exposure is great. I mean, there's so many of the tech platforms that are here presenting. We've talked to at least half of them, and 100% of them are potential customers. So to kind of show them what we're doing, finally be in front of them and show, hey, I'm Lucas, I'm with Kestrel, instead of that cold call or that LinkedIn outreach. So that's going to be huge. And then, like you mentioned, the feedback. You never know when someone will be like, man, I like that, I want to invest in that. You never know when you're going to run into someone like that. And so it's always great just getting out, talking about what you're doing. We're doing some great things, some new products. So to be able to do that and talk to people is phenomenal.
I know. I think so many people undervalue the human-to-human interaction.
Oh yeah.
Like I think about this in all of my stuff. Like this is why I get out there. This is why I want to do my show at conferences, at things, because I just want people to, I love this interaction piece of it. And frankly, people are never going to be able to tell how much you actually give a shit until they're speaking to you, because the best canned marketing fucking deck that you can throw out there will never tell the story like somebody who was like, built it up from nothing, like those dark moments of when you're beginning, like I remember, sitting in my bedroom starting doing
Yeah.
all this shit and thinking to myself, God, if this check doesn't come in, I don't know how the fuck I'm going to put food on my table.
Yeah.
That passion never comes out through a marketing deck.
Mhm.
That passion will only come through when you're up there explaining to somebody why you're doing what you do every single day.
Yeah. And that and 100% like it's a business we're in a business to business environment. I'm not selling to consumers. So in a business to business selling environment, it's pretty quick turnaround. So if someone can ask the 5 questions they need to make a decision right here in front of me, as opposed to back and forth on emails, I go into a meeting, so now it gets pushed to the next day. It's such an efficient process to kind of do that initial discovery of, hey, what do you guys do? Is there potential here? And let's move on to the next step. So yeah, that person to person interaction is huge in so many ways.
Yeah. So, I mean, what do you got planned out here, man? I mean, you're not in the snow
Yep.
in Montana right now. So what's the deal? What are you going to go check out here while you're in town? Is this it, man? Is this quick business and then you're back?
It'll be pretty quick. It was funny. I talked to a couple guys on the panel for the Shark Tank thing, who they actually went down to some spring training games. I guess some of that's going on in town. So they went and checked some of that out. I don't know if I'll have a chance to make it down there. It's a pretty quick conference. I got in yesterday. They had a little thing last night, but then today's all day, and then kind of tomorrow's Friday. So it's going to go pretty quick. I think the majority will be spent here. But I mean, it's great to be in the sun, and yeah, it'll be great to just spend the day here as well.
Dude, that's exactly it. Well, man, I appreciate you taking some time, and obviously, if you need anything, introductions to anybody, I'm here to help, man. I just want to see people succeed, at the end of the day, because going through and figuring all this shit out as we go it's not for the faint of heart, man. And there's just so much fucking ups and downs of all of this stuff, and I don't think a lot of people don't ever understand, because they'll see the where you are today and they completely look over, like it's just like the whole overnight select, like the 10-year overnight success and stuff like that. And so for me, it's like, and that's what I love about what the TIA does is, it doesn't matter if you're a 1 or 2 person brokerage or you're CH Robinson. Like, you have a place here, people are going to talk to you, they're going to actually help you in your business and everything else, because I fully believe that in this industry, especially in brokerage here, is that if we're all working together, like at the end of the day, there's a reason why there isn't a monopoly. There isn't 2 players who control fucking everything. There's a reason for that, because the opportunity is endless. And it's like, if we can put best practices out there at a deafening level, it's going to eliminate a lot of the bullshit that this industry is kind of known for at the end of the day.
100%. No, I appreciate you having me. Great to talk to the Freight Coach audience again. And if anyone out there has any questions, kestralinsights.com. And no, I appreciate it, Chris.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate it, dude. Thank you. And then, that's it and then we got our next guest. She's over there probably talking shit to somebody right now. You ready?
Come on in.
Let's do this.
Thanks, man.
I know. I am struggling. Todd, am I? See, this is what happens, you guys, is people walk by and talk shit. All right. It doesn't matter what we do. They walk by, they talk shit. But you know what? I bring it on for myself. That's why I wear a blaze orange polo shirt. Is this? Yeah. Show everybody the.
Okay, wait.
I saw.
I have
this.
to show you something. All right, wait. Let me see if everybody can see this.
Fuck double broker.
Can you see it?
Yes, that is fantastic.
I figured that since here's the thing, everybody
This
is bitching about double brokering.
I know it never fucking ends. But
And there are things you can do.
Are there though? Because like
Yes.
it kind of seems like everybody loves to bitch about problems, but never do anything about it.
Yeah. That's the thing, is you have to get them to actually solve the problems.
Yes.
But and use the software, like with my software, right? Carrier Sure. It solves the double brokering, the cargo claims, the hostage loads, like not 100%.
Yeah.
But the majority of the time, if you just don't use the F carriers, you don't have those problems.
Yes. I agree with that.
But you have to convince people to actually use technology. In our industry, they struggle sometimes.
And I don't understand why it's such a headache for people to accept that. And, because to me, it's like, and we were just talking about this the other day on your show, like all the conversations with the double brokers are kind of the fucking same.
Yes.
But what people only hear is how much money can I possibly make? And what if it works? Like at the end of the day, I don't know if brokers for the majority, I can't say the majority. I'm trying my best not to be fucking lumping everybody in, but there are people out there who don't really care as long as they're making money and it goes right. And they're like,
and that's okay, right?
Yeah.
You don't give a shit. It's okay. And maybe, Chris, you haul like pallets or water bottles, or you just don't, you and the shipper just don't give a shit if there's problems. It's annoying, but you make a lot of money. So whatever. But, then you've got a lot of people out there who don't want those problems. And but I don't know what it is. Like a lot of people will jump right towards technology, and a lot of people will, they'll be hesitant about technology.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I don't know if I can't dig through and do all the manual labor. And I'm like, let it go.
I-
Let it go.
Well, that's the thing is I feel like as a broker, Cassandra, with everything that's out there, like 95% of our day should be automated. Like there literally should be nothing that we manually do besides physically picking up the phone. And that's it. Like I don't see how there is so much resistance that's out there. I don't know if it's because like a lot of people think like from a price perspective, like how am I going to afford it? Like it looks awesome, but how am I going to afford it? Like, I mean, with what we're doing at Broker Carrier, like our entire platform, the most expensive piece is $190 a month. You know,
Like that's an excellent price.
yes.
You shouldn't even be hesitating at that price.
And that's exactly it. And so it's
If
like
it makes you more efficient, go.
just like at like with you guys at Carrier, sure though, like you brought a competitive piece to the market that not only cleans up operations, but it's not going to bankrupt somebody. And I think like, you know, because and it's also one of those tools though that even the small to mid-size brokers are going to be able to use, because I think a lot of people think like, oh, technology is only for the big guys, it's only for the big players in the industry, and that's just not the case, because like frankly, like this is the way that I see it is a lot of people need to start viewing technology and frankly probably their fucking people as an investment, because that's what it is it's like, what is it costing me to not have this? And I mean, I see the fucking social media posts every day about double brokering this and the wrong carrier that, and you know, and frankly, even all the carriers bitching about all the shitty brokers that are out there and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, but it's not unattainable. It's not unaffordable for people.
Correct. And there are things you can do. Like,
Yes.
there are lots of things you can do. And if you're like, oh, I throw my hands up in the air, you just you're just not paying attention to Chris's show, and you need to watch Chris's show.
I know. I try every single day.
We have Mac Fink in the house.
He is in the
I love
house.
Matt
Look at
Fink.
this mashup. Let's fucking go.
And so tell me about your operations. You're back in the being a brokerage again.
Yes.
You've got a new entity.
Yes.
Are you doing anything different now versus with your previous experience working as a broker?
I'm leveraging a lot of what I used to do, but now I get to use a lot of fancier fucking tools, and it makes my life a lot easier. But, you know, for me personally, it's like, how do you stand out in a crowd? You know, because like there is a lot of brokers, and I know the people that are out there like, oh, we don't need another broker. We don't need another shitty broker. I'm going to be the first one to fucking say it. We don't. We need people who actually understand what to do out there, who are going to advocate for your drivers when they're getting fucked over. You know, like there's no other way to put it. And, you know, frankly, for me, it's what I will say this though, is the dispatch services are every single phone call now.
Oh my God.
And, you know, and for me personally, it's like a couple of the companies, you know, for the freight that we're moving right now, I'm out there, like they'll give me the information for the carrier that I'm booking on the load. So there's a difference. And I want people to understand that is if you're booking, because not all dispatch services are bad. If you're working with them and they provide you the information for the carrier that is actually going to pick up the freight for you, that's a legitimate dispatch service in my opinion. But if they're like, oh, they're not set up, oh, try this one or try that one or
and
try
you're
that
like,
one.
wait a second, I thought you were Cassandra Trucking.
Yeah.
Why are you giving me Chris Trucking?
Well, that's exactly it.
now?
Because like they don't understand. And this is my thing is like, I'll even say this too, like there needs to be some form of legislation out there to hold dispatch services to a higher standard. And I also feel the same about brokers. I'm going to be the first one to say it. I truly feel that brokers should be required by law to carry insurance. I'm one of those things because if you're going to be out there, if you're going to have skin in the game, you should have some form of assurances, you know, like I don't think that everything should go on. Like, I know your lawyer brain's probably like, but
no, I actually agree with you.
But I personally think that brokers should, because it to me personally, it's what are you going to do if, you know, like if you don't read that contract, if you're not, because I view it as more as you're protecting your organization, because what if the technology fails? You know, because I know a lot of people never want to talk about that, but what if the technology fails and something slips through the cracks? Then what? If you don't have insurance in place, you're fucked.
You know, the first thing I thought of when you were talking about that is, what if you give the carrier the wrong temperature?
Yeah.
The wrong instructions.
Yes.
Or you tell them to do something and it just ends up being a mess.
And that's the thing. Like I was dealing with that with a client of mine here recently, is the insurance company rejected the claim because it was a driver error and the insurance doesn't cover driver error. The driver put the temperature to a cycle and not continuous. And the insurance company says their insurance doesn't cover that. So we're done.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, we're done here. And then my client was like, we got to come up with like $60,000 to pay this. Fortunately, they had insurance though.
Mhm.
So there is those assurances there that come along with it because mistakes happen. And, as you know, lawyers and insurance companies aren't your fucking friend.
Nope.
It doesn't matter that you might be paying your insurance company. They're going to be looking for a way to not fucking pay that claim.
Yep, it's so true. It's so true. And you may think like, oh, I've got that AM best rating insurance company that's an A. No, that doesn't mean they're going to pay your claim. That
Yeah.
just means that's their financial stability. So don't get all excited about that. Like Lloyd's of London is an A, and Lloyd's of London
Oh,
tries
here
not
we
to
go.
pay shit. But I completely see what you're saying, and I agree with you. Especially about the insurance piece.
Yeah,
I think that would be a game changer.
because I think like with everything, how this industry is evolving and everything is, I think it's a lot of it like with just in your personal world too, like your data and your information's out there. So it's like
Yeah.
what formalities are in place to protect your users from their information not getting hacked? Have you ever been asked? I'm curious. This just came to. Have you ever been asked, "Hey, how do I ensure that my information is not going to get hacked?"
I've never been asked that. No.
Okay.
But I've been like, hey, what would you do if your
Yeah.
information has been hacked? And they're all like, and I'm like, because I should get insurance for that. It's usually like the larger companies
Yeah.
with a lot of data. And I'm like, you got to think about that because I mean, what year was it? A couple of years ago, TruckStop had a huge
Data breach.
and there was one other company that had a big data breach, and it was a mess. Oh, good
Was it
morning, Kyle.
Echo. Oh, Kyle Provost. What's up, buddy? I think that
can't-
there's some delays with LinkedIn. StreamYard is, I don't know what it is about it. Is sometimes when I'm not like at my studio, stuff is just fucking backed up, and then I'll go on there later, and there'll be a bunch of shit, and I'm like, oh,
And you're like,
God.
oh, I missed that.
I try and make it as
I
audience
wish I could
friendly as
roast that
possible.
person. I missed it. So tell me, what are your goals here at TIA, and how's it going so far?
Well, I've literally been. The beauty of it being in Phoenix is I finally didn't have to fucking travel for a show, and I loved that. I'm just getting set up. For me personally, it's just more about getting out there and meeting more and more people because I think in a world where everybody wants to like almost remove the personal touch from things, I'm the opposite. I
Yes,
want
I
to
am
meet
too.
people. I love when people that engage with my stuff are
Yes.
coming up and stopping me and they're like, hey, I love what you're doing, thank you so much. This information, we're applying it. That means the world to me, so it's like I love doing that. And I also like checking out what the booths are going to be out there with the vendors and everything, because I like to keep my pulse, my hand on the pulse of
Yeah.
what the industry, where it's trending. And you never get it if you're sitting in your office the whole time. Like
It's
you
so
got to
true.
get out to these shows. And
Yeah, you really do.
personally, what I think about especially like what I love about the TIA is like you get to talk with some people who are 100 times bigger than you, but like they're going to actually provide you, hey, this is what we're doing, this is what we're looking at from a technology standpoint. Some people take the, hey, we'll just fucking build it ourselves
Yep.
approach, but you get a good pulse of the market when you're actually talking to the people. And that was to a point, Cassandra, that was one of the main driving factors where I was like, I got to get back in the game, because I didn't want anybody to ever listen to my shit and be like,
Well, he's not doing.
He's
it
on the
anymore.
sidelines.
Yeah, he's on the sidelines.
and frankly, I was a hypocrite at times because I would call that out, but I'm like, well, wait a second, I got fucking 10 years experience, 15 years in the industry, but I wanted to bring some additional validity to it because I want people to understand, like, hey, these are the decisions that I'm making in the day-to-day in my company. This is what we're doing. This is how we're navigating market changes. It's not, this is what I'm advising people now. It's no, this is what we're doing. This is the difference that we're seeing out there.
That makes sense. Are you seeing a lot more requests for co-brokering? I've been
Well, I'm
asked
glad
about
you
that a
fucking
lot.
brought that up. All right. Because I have. And frankly, if you're a fucking freight broker and you're reaching out to another broker to say, I can help you broker your freight, fuck you. All right. Like that. I
Where
can't
does
put
it
it.
come from? Is it like, especially TQL? A lot of people are saying that they get a lot of calls from TQL.
It's,
And I'm like, where's that coming from? Why are the TQL people like looking for freight and hoping you have freight?
I don't
And
know.
You don't know what to do with your freight?
I don't know. And I've had a couple of their reps reach out to me, and I don't know if it's like that's their strategy. Maybe somebody, I'm not internally there. My advice is if you're reaching out to other freight brokers to get freight as a broker and you want to do a co-brokering agreement, just give me your customers right now, because it's only a matter of time before they come to me anyways. Like, just save yourself the fucking headache.
So if you were in charge of their sales team, you'd be like, just don't go down that route. It's not a spot
I
where
would
you
never-
would get freight. It's not even worth your time.
Ever.
I'm trying to think of who are those brokers that'd be like, okay, TQL, I do have freight for you. Are they giving you their shittiest freight possible that they've never wanted to begin with? Like, I'm trying to imagine that. And Amanda Miller's with us, and she
What's
says
up,
facts.
Amanda?
And Julia, she loves the orange
I
polo.
know,
I
it
should have.
is.
Okay, I completely forgot, and I was gonna make you one of these in orange.
You should.
I'm
Fucking
so I
right.
know
You
I'm
need
so
to.
pissed.
You need to.
I was like, and so for those of you who haven't seen this yet, I made this. Hold on. Hopefully you can see it.
Oh, your hair's in the way.
Oh, damn the hair.
Fuck double brokering. It is the greatest shirt ever. We need those. We need to start sending those out there. You should probably trademark that.
I have a bunch of them available for anybody at TIA who wants one. And I'm just trying to make a point about all these problems that people are facing. There's a lot of resources out there
Yeah.
that can solve your issues, and especially with a brand new onboarding solution
Yeah.
that Chris has for you that could
Exactly.
cut through a lot of that bullshit.
Hint, hint, hint. It's not a sales pitch, because it's not a sales pitch, but if you want to onboard
if
your
you want
carriers in
to.
less than 30 seconds and you want to see, the parameters of how long they've actually had authority for, we have that on our platform. You can do that. You can set rules. It's really cool. Then you can also go over to a carrier assure and find out what these carriers score, because one thing with your product that I love the most is when you rank them like that, it's not a, hey, don't put them on your freight.
Right.
It's, hey, if you have certain types of freight where it's low value, it's first come, first serve. Your customer's like, I don't fucking care when it picks or it delivers this. That's fine.
Yeah.
There's
I'm
carriers
good
out
with
there
the
for
CB
you.
carrier.
Yeah.
The D carrier will be fine for this freight. That's fine. At least you knew. That's my whole thing. It's like a credit score. At
Yes.
least you knew who the hell you were working with, and you didn't pick somebody that had 65 trucks and 5 years of authority, and you were like, I'm good with them. That they got to be good, and they were a dog. And then Monday morning, you're like, fuck, what just happened? So I have another question.
Oh, I love how I'm getting interviewed here, but it's fine.
Well,
Let's go.
I like that. I've been hearing a lot of what's going on in the
Yeah.
industry and people getting nervous and da da da. And you always have your thumb on the pulse.
Mhm.
And so I view this as my opportunity
Okay.
to ask you questions. So, where do you think we're heading economy wise? And do you think people should be being careful about perhaps getting laid off?
That's economy wise, I think it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. I don't think there's any, I think that right now, I mean, I'll put my tinfoil hat on it. It almost seems like a lot of the shit's intentional at this point.
It does. Doesn't
It's
it?
very tough to sit here and be like, wait, well, what do you mean we can't do anything about that? Like, you literally did something to stop from what it was happening.
Yeah.
But I think people need to be prepared that, I'll put it this way. If you're the badass that we all want to tell ourselves,
Yes.
you're going to be just fine. Nobody is going to get rid of
Right.
that,
You're
because
right, because we're hustlers. Like,
Exactly.
no matter what, we're gonna pivot wherever
if
we
you
need
are
to.
making shit happen, you will be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's true.
if you were one of those individuals who took advantage of the market for what it was, you came
Yes.
in at an inflated
And
salary.
you know who you are.
Exactly. And again, get your money. But I said
Yeah.
this when this was happening. I'm like, be prepared, you guys.
Yep.
See, this is why I needed Jamie from Joe Rogan. I'd be like, hey, I got receipts. Fucking pull up that clip and put that in there, because I put that out there specifically. I said, you guys be prepared. You'll be fine if you're a badass. But if
Yes.
you're a fucking B player or a C player and you came in at a 6-figure salary and you're not performing, you're the first one
You're
out the
first
fucking
one
door.
out the door.
There's
You
no
guys
other way
hear
to put
that?
it.
I think that a lot of people, yourself, Amanda Miller, Matt Fink, they've been through the ups and the downs a lot. So
Yeah.
we're all just watching this and we're like, oh, here we go. We're going with the downs.
Well, that's the thing.
And
I'm all fucking offense right now,
Yeah.
Cassandra, because I
Yep.
know for a fact, and I saw this, and I attribute the success that I've found in business for myself so far in 2020 and 2021 is that so many people are on the sidelines. They're in defense mode right now because there is all that uncertainty. I'm fucking going all in. I'm running through a fucking wall in this market because I know for a fact how human beings work. They're going to retreat. They're
yes,
going
they
to play
are.
safe.
They're going to get scared. They're
Guess
gonna
what, you
stand on the
guys?
sidelines.
I know how this industry works as a broker. And if you're willing to make $50 on a load, that means your competition's not going to get it. And long term, I'll just suffocate freight markets.
Yeah.
I will gladly do what this market is, because this is the beauty of a free market. Brokers have no idea, for the most part, Cassandra, when it's a broker's market like it is right now, you don't have an excuse if you fail on a load. Customers will fucking kick you out the door in a heartbeat.
Yes.
Because they're like, wait a second, what? You're failing because of two reasons. You're not willing to lose money on the load, or you can't do your
I hope
job.
you guys are hearing that right now, because I'm getting a ton of customers to Carrier Assure, and the first thing through the door 2 months ago, I was pitching to them hardcore. Maybe
Yeah.
3 months ago, in June, I was pitching to them hardcore. Now they're coming to me a lot because and the first thing they all say is service. Oh, I want to provide
Yeah.
my customer with better service. I'm like, but you didn't want to provide them better service in June. Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. No, it's because now it's what Chris says. Now customers are less tolerable about problems, just like you're less tolerable with carriers'
Yeah.
problems because now you get to be selective.
Yeah, but at the same time though, carriers should give less of a shit about the brokers who fuck them over. Like they should
Yeah.
understand, and that's the thing is like that's what I never understood is it's like if you're out there and if a broker is posting $1 a mile, fuck that broker.
Yeah.
All right, I'll call it for what it is. Just don't deal with them and then just don't talk
take
to
the
them
freight.
and don't. Yeah, and I get it, but but I also understand I need revenue, please. I need to just move my truck. Maybe this will work out. I
But at some
understand that.
point in time, when you move your truck, it costs you money.
I know.
So that logic doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. And that's what's nuts to me about it though, is because I think a lot, I don't know the mindset of a driver, but it might be because they're like, oh, if I don't take it, maybe they'll blacklist me.
Yeah. Or they're like, I'm such an idiot. They have these big lease payments.
Yeah.
And they're like, I got to make my lease payments. So I guess I just won't maintain my truck for a little while.
Yeah. And that's what I just don't want to see. I don't want to see anybody go out of business, like again, I'm from
It'll
a family.
happen, though. A lot of people are going to go out of business.
I
And we
know.
kind of need it. We need the bottom feeders to kind of go out. Y'all know who these people are and these companies are. And they've been driving you nuts for the last 2 years.
I hope
we need to get rid of them.
I'm a little bit of an optimist. I hope these people figure it out and they're like, hey, I'm going to change my ways and I'm going to do the right thing. I am also a fucking realist.
Yep.
And I know that, yes, unfortunately, people are going to go out of business, but it's not going to be the market that drives them out. It's going to be their own shitty decisions,
their own
that
shitty
make
practices,
them out. Yes.
bad habits. Maybe they're lazy, but this is going to weed out and filter out.
I
people
know
who are tough enough
it's
to survive.
inevitable. It's going to weed them out. It's going to filter them out. But, again, for anybody out there who's a real player in the industry, if you're really that fucking broker that thinks like, I fucking got to figure it out, this is your time to shine.
Yes, it is.
This really is, because everybody else is going to sit around and fuck around.
Yep, it's true.
And I'm going to literally be in everybody's ear.
And they're going to take a long time to adjust.
Yeah.
And we all know that you've got to move fast. You've got to pivot fast
Yeah.
and crank it into fifth gear. to
Be
able to survive.
decisive. Like
Mhm.
most importantly, we didn't even touch on what what are you looking forward to the most about presenting? Is it more from the direct feedback that you're going to actually get from people who are actual investors? And like I was talking with Lucas about this. The thing that I'm most excited about is like these guys, the panel who are judging you are actual fucking funds. It's not like four fucking douchebags with orange polos and backwards hats up there be like, oh, I'd give you money if I had it,
Those are my favorite. I would actually prefer them. This is interesting. I'm not at I am extremely blessed. And I feel like I honestly every day I'm like, whatever higher power is up there that
Yeah.
I believe in,
God.
thank God. Like I am blessed, but I have no shortage of funds. People coming to me and saying they will give
That's
me
awesome.
funding. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what people are talking about with the economy because I'm not seeing it.
Yeah.
But we also have been growing a shit ton, have great gross margins.
That's awesome.
And so I'm very, very blessed and very excited. So right now I'm trying to decide what I want to do with the business,
Yeah.
whether if I do want to go for another fundraising, go kind of balls to the wall, fifth gear, go, or do I keep continuing going the way we are and continue to grow organically? So I've got a big decision I've got to make soon.
Yeah.
So I'm not as much going toward the investors. I got plenty of those. I love getting and reaching, and I'm hoping I can reach to those people truly who are like, I have a team of people every day that are digging through some data,
Yeah.
checking inspections and looking at the contact information and blah, 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 every day, every carrier. And then they don't know if it changes. And
Yeah.
it's monotonous day after day after day. And their carrier salespeople are like checking to see if there are any freight card reports every day. Do I tender? Before I tender, I'm going to check for reports. And I'm like, yeah, you're just waiting around.
Can
because
you
you're
tell
gonna
me
be
how
the
you really
next person.
feel? Can you tell me how you really feel?
So I'm pitching to those people, and demoing is my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah.
I love demoing because you can, I whenever I demo, I win the hearts of whoever's right there listening because product works. So that's what I'm here. I want to get to the hearts of those people and tell them I am a solution. I'm not cheap, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm not Walmart. I'm not going to be $100. You can share it with 300 people.
Oh, yeah.
Nope. This product was built and is powerful, but that's why I want to reach those people who want to invest in their business and want to avoid all these problems.
Yeah.
and that's my target audience.
No, I love it. And, like, because I remember, for those of you, Cassandra and I do talk a lot.
Yes.
I remember when you just kind of got the idea up and running, and it was a lot of, just like with any young founder, it's like, what the fuck do I do? And I
Yeah.
think like, and then it's the unknown that is also, but it's like looking back over these last couple of years, how much fucking fun has it actually been?
Amazing.
Like, even
The
though
best
you're like,
journey
how
of
do I
my
pay my
life.
bills? But you're also like,
Yes!
God, this is fucking fun.
Yes, the best journey of my life.
Yeah.
It's like I've never had so much fun, and
Yeah.
so I love that you hit on that, because I wouldn't at times though. You guys, the unknown eats at you. He hit right on it. Like, the unknown is like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And you're lonely. It's very lonely.
It
No one
is,
knows what it's like.
unless you've walked
Mhm.
that path.
And I think that's why I talk to you so much.
Yeah.
It's because nobody knows what it's like to have a startup, to have a SaaS company, to have other things going on, like to have this podcast and
it's, to me, it's a lot of, it's the self-doubt that comes in, because like, I mean, naturally, like, I'm not an extrovert. Like, I get like, this
I'm
is
not either.
taught.
Yep.
Like, I had to build
Me too.
this up to get to this point. But a lot of it is those thoughts that you have of the doubt that comes in, because like, it doesn't matter. Like, you put your heart and fucking soul into this. Like, I don't have a plan B, like, this is going to fucking work. But when you have those lulls, those drops in engagement, or why are these, I'm demoing like a motherfucker right now. Why
Yes.
aren't these people signing up?
Yes.
Then the doubt starts to creep in.
yes.
Like, I'm convinced of this in business and in life. No outside force will fucking stop me.
Yes.
I will be the only thing that can stop me.
Yep.
And it's
so
because
true.
I'm going to lose the battle between my ears.
So freaking true. That's the thing about owning your own business. Hear me now, you guys. Just hear what he says, because you can't blame anybody for anything.
Yeah.
You can only blame yourself.
Yeah.
So if operations aren't working, or a big an error happens in your software, like, you can kind of blame the tech people, but there's always leads back to you. Like,
Yeah.
always.
Yeah.
And
But
it's
I also,
painful.
I love the fucking pressure of that
Yes,
though, too.
me too.
Because
I'm okay with it being on me.
I'm completely okay with it being on me, because I would actually appreciate it, because like, I don't know, corporate America, corporate America.
Oh God, I do.
It's always well, you should have done that. Well, but you said that I couldn't. But anyways, we're not going to get into the back and forth of fucking corporate, but
world is tough.
I just think that if more people would actually, again, it takes a lot to go through this path and to get to like those small little fucking milestones.
Yep.
Like, I remember the first
So
time I
true.
got a check, and it was like, holy shit, this is all to me.
Yes.
Like, and really, I was like, I don't have to fucking deliver pizza.
Yes.
And I got to like, so it was like those fucking little milestones.
Yes.
Like, that's what keeps you going in the shitty times when you're like, why the fuck am I doing this? Why am I putting myself through this? It's those little wins like that. And that's what I see for like you and getting here to this point and being able to present. Cause I know that you guys had to apply to this.
Yes.
You had to do like a little interview, and then you get to that point and it's like, boom, let's fucking go.
Let's go.
I'm ready to
Seriously,
run
let's
through a
go.
wall,
I'm
Cassandra. I don't
excited,
know
you
about
guys.
you.
And I Mark is with us. I love Mark. Mark says, don't worry, the VC backed brokers will drive.
Out the bottom by purchasing market share. Those.
It's so true.
Amen to that, Mark.
Yes.
Um,
So true.
Well, I guess that everybody. How does anybody find out more about Carrier Sure? Let's do that, because I think we're gonna start
good.
wrapping
Okay,
up
I'm
here,
Cassandra Gaines. I'm the CEO and
Yes, you are.
founder of Carrier Sure. I'm on LinkedIn. Anywhere you find Jolly, I'm right behind him
Correct.
with the biggest pom poms possible. And so you can go to carriersure.com and you can get a free trial. Just click on pricing. You'll see the promo codes right there. Get a free trial, 30 days. Give it a shot. But I want you to come to it with an open mind,
Yes.
because you're not going to be digging through data. You're just going to get a credit score. It's like a credit score. You're just going to get a score. And we're going to give you a heads up whether you're working with somebody that's an F or an A or a B or a C. It's as
it
easy
should
as
be.
that.
As it should be. Cassandra, thank you. That's it for
No,
today,
thank
you
you.
guys. The Freight Coach Morning Show. We are the top morning show in transportation, coming to you guys every single weekday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 10:30 Central. Normally we break down some industry headlines, but I'm on site right now. We got some guests. We're going live. I'll be back in studio tomorrow to break down some of that shit out there. And at the end of the day, you guys, if you guys saw value in what you just heard, share the show. That's all I can ask. I'm going to keep showing up every single day for you guys. And if you could do your boy a solid and share the show, subscribe out there, because if you guys see value in it, chances are your network's going to see value in it as well. I appreciate you guys all so much, and we'll be talking to you soon. And now that's it. And now I'm going to hit